us on Overdrive. Up next, we have a mega motorcycle comparison test for you. It's a motorcycle story that you have been waiting for a really long time, especially if you're interested in the affordable sports bike segment.
Right now is the golden age for entry-level sports bikes in India. With motorcycles like these, the competition is actually getting hotter than the weather right now. And if you are a thrill seeker, a motorcyclist looking to step up, you want to snag that bike which has the guts, the nimbleness, a bit of that razzle-dazzle, all without having to sell your kidneys. And one of these is going to be on your radar. So which one will it be? Let's find out.
Stepping into the ring are these three absolute belters, each with a heart that beats with a twin-cylinder rhythm. A Kawasaki Ninja 500, the Aprilia RS 457 and the Yamaha YZF-R3. Let's kick off with their design and form factors. The Ninja 500. It's like Kawasaki has taken a dash of their racing heritage, thrown in the fierceness of the ZX4R and created something special. It's a masterclass in balance. On one hand, you've got this beast that looks like it's itching to tear up the tarmac, screaming speed and thrill. And on the other hand, it's got its approachable charm, not scaring off the newbies or returning riders.
The sharp lines, modern touches and easy ergonomics on the Ninja 500, they scream, I'm quick, but hey, I'm here for everyone. It just wants to leap forward, but with that welcoming grin. And in comparison, the Aprilia RS 457, it's like a catwalk model decided to hit the streets. It's got that upmarket Aprilia sass that manages to turn a lot of heads.
And then we have the Yamaha R3. Now this can be seen as more of the classic motorcycle in this company because it doesn't really shout, look at me with my road presence and performance and all that kind of stuff. It's more of elegant and grandeur and poise with this motorcycle. So it's more of a refined whisper rather than a roar.
Now let's talk ergonomics, that secret sauce that can make or break your love affair with a motorcycle.
Sporty yet comfy, this one's got handlebars that let you hunker down when you're thrashing it around bends, but won't leave you feeling like you wrestled a bear after a long ride. The seat, it's like sitting on a cloud, perfect for those endless road trips. And the foot pegs, they're just where you'd want them. No yoga poses required here.
Now the Aprilia RS 457, it's the wild child of the bunch. It just screams, I mean business. That's how aggressive the riding posture is. It's made for attacking lap times. But when it comes to longer jaunts on the highway, that could be a bit of a grumble.
The seat's firm, built for speed rather than a Sunday picnic. And let's talk about those foot pegs. They are high, keeping you on your toes, ready to dance around those corners. And then there is the Yamaha YZF-R3.
Now the ride position of the Yamaha R3, very comfortable in my opinion. As you can see, decent amount of legroom and not too committed riding position. Now this might be the narrowest or the thinnest bike out in this comparison, but it just goes to show that size doesn't really matter because it's just so comfortable.
The low seat height makes it easier than the other two. The seat's a perfect mix of sporty and snug. It's like your favorite breakfast chair, but on two wheels. And the foot pegs, well, they strike that sweet spot. Not too aggressive, not too lazy. Just right for whatever ride you are on.
The 451cc parallel twin engine on the Ninja 500 is like a symphony of power and poise. The acceleration, silky smooth, yet it's got enough grunt in it to get your heart racing. At the same time, the motorcycle feels at home, whether you're weaving through city streets or cruising effortlessly on the highway.
This machine isn't just about raw speed, it's about smooth, controlled power delivery, making it a great all-rounder.
The RS 457, it's like a coin snake ready to pounce. The acceleration, it feels ferocious, it lunges forward, it gets your pulse pounding.
If you're craving an adrenaline fix, this bike has it in spades. The mid-range, it's like a catapult, making overtakes less of a maneuver and more of a thrill. This bike doesn't just respond to your commands, it leaps at them, matching its aggressive looks with equally fiery performance. Sure, the new emission norms have tamed the zing a bit, But where this little champ shines is in its urban agility. Its tractability and nimble nature make it a breeze to zip through traffic, giving it an edge in the real-world conditions where it matters the most. In summary, the Ninja 500 balances power with control. The RS-457 is all about exhilarating raw power. And the R3, while not the quickest, offers a balanced and enjoyable ride, especially in the urban settings.
Next, let's talk about refinement, a facet that separates the great bikes from the good ones. Now, when it comes to the Ninja 500, the refinement is at a whole new level. You will love the kind of poise, the kind of refinement that it offers.
Sure, it gets a bit rough beyond 7000 RPM, but with its beefy mid-range, you will hardly need to push it that far. This bike is like a chameleon. It can loaf around town or tear up the tarmac, all while keeping its cool.
It feels like the James Bond of engines, soft, sophisticated, and always in control.
Then there's the Aprilia RS-457. The engine's grunt is like an orchestra of horsepower, with every twist of the wrist feeling like you've just unleashed a pack of wild horses. It's the kind of bike that stirs your soul and gets your heart racing, perfect for those who want their ride to feel like a symphony of speed.
Now, although this Yamaha engine has been around for a while in the R3, well, it appears to have aged quite well in this particular company as well because, well, first and foremost, it is smooth and refined as I mentioned before, but it is quite tractable as well. The only thing it seems to be lacking is that instant power delivery because it doesn't rev as quickly as it does with these other two machines.
Whether you're weaving through city streets, cruising on the highway or tearing up the track, it's consistently friendly. It's the perfect stepping stone if you're moving up from a smaller ride.
If you're graduating from a 100 or 125cc motorcycle, the R3 is going to be your buddy. But if you're coming from something sprightlier, a 200 or 250cc motorcycle, and you fancy the idea of having twin-cylinder engines, it's going to be the Ninja 500 or the Aprilia RS-457, which are going to be more your speed. It all boils down to what kind of dance you want to do on tarmac.
Of course, performance, ride quality and handling are important criteria when you're picking a motorcycle, but so are features, safety and value for money. More on that after this short break. Welcome back, you're with us on Overdrive. Now, we've been road testing the Yamaha R3, the Aprilia RS-457 and also the Kawasaki Ninja 500 rigorously under uniform conditions, and now it's time to pit them against each other in terms of safety, features as well as value for money criteria.
Let's talk brakes. The ones on the Ninja 500 are so good. They give you the kind of stopping power that lets you flirt with the laws of physics, knowing there's a safety net ready to catch you. Pushing the limits feels a bit safer on this beast. The Aprilia RS-457 is a bit of a mixed bag in the braking department. Sure, it stops when you ask it to, but it's missing that extra oomph of the Ninja. The R3 is the calm one in the group when it comes to braking. Perfect for everyday ride, the brakes might leave the thrill seekers wanting just a tad bit more bite. But the silver lining, it's easier to manage while trail braking than the other two. So, for everyday heroics, it's got your back.
In comparison to the Aprilia, the Ninja feels like a magic carpet. The ride quality is that good. Especially for those romantic two-up journeys, this is the better bike to go for. But you have to be careful about that low ground clearance. It can give you some awkward, unwanted jolts when you're riding on bad roads, fully loaded.
Now the Aprilia, well, this feels like a proper race enthusiast dream because it has that nice Aprilia racing pedigree to it, especially in this company. Now the suspension might be on the stiffer side, but then again you do have preload adjustable suspension at the front especially, and you feel nice and connected at all times on the road. Now the only downside is, well, on the long haul, on long rides, it might not be as comfortable as the others in this company.
Then there's the Yamaha R3. It's like the friend who's always comfy to hang out with. The ride is supple, making Indian roads feel a bit less daunting. The pillion seat isn't a lounge chair like the Ninjas, but its higher ground clearance means fewer surprises on bumpy roads. Handling the 500 is like dancing with a well-trained partner. It's agile, but it won't throw you into a spin with extreme moves. It's the bike that will teach you the ropes without throwing you overboard. The RS-457, oh boy, its handling is a dream for cornering enthusiasts, making every turn a laugh. Plus, those TVS Euro grips are like having super glue on your tires compared to the Dunlop's plain donuts on the others. The Yamaha R3 on the other hand is a very good handler too. Not too mild, not too wild. It's forgiving for the newbies but still keeps the old hands entertained. The chassis and suspension is in such harmony, even high-speed leans feel like a breeze.
Now let's talk features and let's talk about the Ninja 500. Yes, I did call it a James Bond initially, but it doesn't really have too many gadgets. It's not very tech savvy in that sense. You just get the bare essentials like an LCD screen and Bluetooth connectivity.
Then there is the Aprilia RS-457. It's got all the bells and whistles. A colorful TFT display, Bluetooth, customizable riding modes and even an optional quick shifter.
Now the Yamaha R3, there's no fancy TFT, ride modes, traction control or even a quick shifter on offer. And instead you do get a rather simplistic LCD screen and there's no Bluetooth connectivity either. So in terms of features, this one kind of gives you the impression that you're bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Safety-wise, the Ninja and the R3 are playing it safe, decent brakes and stability. The Ninja gets a pat on the back for a slip and assist clutch as well. But honestly, even with the Aprilia RS-457 feeling like a superhero with its traction control and switchable ABS, when it comes to real-world performance, the RS-457 simply doesn't feel as safe, and that is down to the shoddy braking. The Ninja 500 balances grunt with gustiness. The 457, with its thirst for power, isn't the most fuel efficient, while the R3 sips fuel like a fine wine, making it a cost-effective contender. In terms of value for money, each of these bikes pitches its tent in a different campground. The Kawasaki Ninja 500 at Rs 5.25 lakh stands tall. It demands a huge premium, sure, but for that extra lakh over the R3, you're getting more muscle and a bit more tech. Then there is the Yamaha YZF-R3, priced at Rs 4.65 lakh. It's like a classic rock album. It's got its loyal fans, but in a world where new genres are popping up, it might struggle to top the charts. The Aprilia RS-457 with its price tag of 4.1 lakh rupees at showroom is like hitting the jackpot. It's the dark horse that galloped in and stole the show. Most powerful, feature-packed, and let's be honest, it's got that look at me aura.
When it comes to most bang for the buck, it's the RS-457. It's like buying a tailor-made suit at a high street price. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Even my money would go to the RS-457. So as the points tally, it is the RS-457 that emerges the leader of this two-wheeled party. It's got the moves, it's got the looks, and it's got a price tag, which is going to make it a hard act to follow.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. Now, before we wrap up this week's edition of Overdrive, let me bring to your notice some exciting news for MG Gloucester owners. The Gloucester is now available with zero maintenance and repair costs, and that is in addition to the manufacturer warranty that is already available with this car. On that note, we'll see you next week. Until then, goodbye. Many thanks for watching.